You're listening to the Haunting of Bly Manor Aftershow by Horror Movie Talk.
Hello, and welcome to Horror Movie Talk Special, The Haunting of Bly Manor After Show. This is the hype episode where we get you hyped to listen to our series of 10 episodes of The Haunting of Bly Manor After Show.
Here, hold on. Let me get something prepped real quick.
Okay.
So this is the hype episode?
Yeah. Oh, baby. Yeah, for this series of 10 episodes, we will be having an opinionated and accidentally funny discussion on each episode of The Haunting of Bly Manor. We'll also be hopefully throwing in some interviews of the cast and crew for good measure. Your panel of expert hosts each week, or I should say each episode, are Dr. Bryce Hansen, who holds a PhD in spookology. And, of course, Professor David Day, the foremost expert in scare no-nos. Thank you. Let's hold off on the air horn from now on. So, with no further ado, let's talk about a little bit about this season of, well, I guess it's The Haunting of Hill House's second season, The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Okay.
Yeah, so in this series of 10 plus after shows, we'll be talking about the events of each episode of the Haunting.
Let's just call it the first season of The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Okay.
Because that's, how it is in Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Well, maybe.
I
don't know how they're going to package it in Netflix. They might throw it on to the end of.
No, I think that would probably be confusing because it's a different title. What they should have really done was do The Haunting, : blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
And then, done it the season that way. But it's,
really the only thing tying them together is this season is also, they're both written and directed by Mike Flanagan, who's the man who brought you Haunting of Hill House, Dr. Sleep. I think Geralds Game was the Netflix exclusive as well. He also did Hush and a lot of other, like Oculus. A lot of horror based stuff. Mike Flanagan has done. And then, of course, there are a few actors between the two that are similar, The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor. Otherwise, they're pretty much just standalone, completely separate stories. I have to say, this show has really surpassed my expectations, especially in the realm of storytelling and character building. Netflix seems to have allowed Flanagan the creative license that he needed to get this twist on the classic novella, The Turn of the Screw, to a point where it's his. It really seems like it's his. And, at this point, we've watched the whole season. How did it strike you?
It's, fantastic. It's as good as I expected it to be.
Is it really?
Which I give Haunting of Hill House 10 out of 10. That's like one of the most impressive horror, projects ever.
Yeah, I will say, don't expect another The Haunting of Hill House, because this is not that.
Yeah, it's different enough.
Reset your expectations for the package that will come, because this is not the 24-hour-a-day spook fest that Hill House was.
Yeah, it's a new thing, but it has the same quality and care that Hill House had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad that we were given the opportunity to review this show as a series of kind of after shows, because this is going to be, I think this is going to be a really big series, for Netflix. There's a tremendous amount of mystery in The Haunting of Bly Manor, and it kind of at its core, it's kind of like a somber / scary tale. Would you say, how would you generally classify this series?
Well, it's a gothic horror, but from Mike Flanagan himself, he really describes it as a gothic romance, which doesn't mean it's like a rom-com or like a romantic in the modern sense. It's romantic as in like
romantic tragedy,
romanticized, tragic, bittersweet, all those things, emotional, beautiful. Yeah, it's
very in touch with humanity.
Yeah. I'm in touch with my humanity.
No, I'm in touch with my humanity.
And but overall, like, it's haunting. Like, that's the most impressive part of this series and Hill House, is that it really sells the concept of haunting.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah. I had such a great time with the way it slowly revealed the mystery to me. Mm-hmm. And I like the 8th episode really just was so great.
Yeah. There's a couple like very specific like episodes and spoilers that we are not allowed to talk about. And, you should be excited to watch it. But obviously, like, the last couple episodes are great.
Yeah. So remember, The Haunting of Bly Manor premieres on Netflix on October 9th. So make sure you catch the shows and watch them in full before you dive into our after shows, because our after shows will just be basically a whole show of spoilers.
Mm-hmm. It's an after show.
Yeah.
You watch it after the show.
I promise you won't be disappointed. Just make sure you reset your expectations. Don't expect another The Haunting of Hill House. This is a different thing, but it is great in and of its own self. So with that, thank you, and get hyped, because we are. So, bye-bye.
Took a while.